on Facebook, someone shared a post. All right. And I sent this to you earlier.
Yeah.
It was a picture of white people.
Oh my god.
Bending on one knee on top of another person, also white, face down, their hands in the back, on their neck.
Mm.
Does that image kind of look familiar? Yeah? Yeah, that image kind of hopefully should look familiar. It's called the George Floyd Challenge. Holy shit, how dumb do you have to be? How low do you have to be to use a human being's suffering as a challenge?
On top of that, there were people that are using these riots and like protests as aesthetics. People would dress up in like certain outfits, riot to take a picture and leave. It's insane. There have been like aesthetic posts I've seen on like social media and stuff.
So story time. I work for a relatively liberal company, but the industry that we're in is very conservative. Let's just say has a lot of white people in it. Fortunately, in my company, there's a lot of good white people. A lot of great ones, a lot of smart ones, a lot of compassionate. So I was talking to one of my coworkers about BLM, and she's white. Like she's like the whitest suburban mom you will ever meet. Totally friendly, loving. Oh my god, like I want her to be my mom, not because she's white, but because she is a damn good person. So I threw this idea out there with her saying, hey, do you think our company should participate in something like this? I sent her an email. It was about 2-3 sentences. Nothing too deep, nothing too, I didn't expect much of a response aside from, yes, this is what you should think about, no, this is what you should think about. You know what this bitch said? I mean bitch in the nicest way for this person. She said that, you know what, Jerwin? I think we definitely need to do this. She went on to talk about how she feels bad as a white person. She feels that she can't say all lives matter. She cannot and does not believe in that saying, all lives matter. She mentioned that because of the color of her skin, she feels like she has to do something. So that's why I was like, this is why I want her to be my mom. Again, not because she's white, but bitch is amazing fucking zing. Like, holy shit. If you're watching this right now, you know who you are. Much love. So that's where, that conversation really got me going and really got me motivated to talk to my senior management team. But I got scared because it is such a sensitive topic. Given the industry that we're in, given the type of demographic that we're in, it felt like it was kind of inappropriate to bring up.
Really? It's so weird that you feel like that.
Well, okay, like I said.
Because people do feel like that, even though it's like a fucking human rights thing.
Like I said before, like my company is full of white people.
Yeah.
Right? And the industry itself, it is a very old industry in a way where there's some people out there that still think, in a conservative sense. Totally cool, you're entitled to your own opinion. But like you said, there's a human rights issue. So, thankfully, someone reached out to me. Actually, let me backtrack a little bit. I work in marketing. I am always aware, or trying to always be aware of what the hell's going on in our industry. It's my job, especially what's happening online, what people are saying about the company, about the brand, about our competitors, about just everything in general, right? So one of the area managers reached out to me saying, hey, like this Blackout Tuesday thing, are we doing something? I responded back right away saying, you know what? I've been thinking about this the whole day. But because this is something that's kind of a political move, it needs to come from the top. All right? And he's like, you know what? Totally agree. I want to do this. Let me talk to some people. So homeboy went to a VP, or his VP, sorry. And, he sent me back an email saying, hey, I talked to VP. Let you know what he does, or what he says. At the end of my workday, I get a call from my VP. And he's like, yo, Jerome. I'm like, yes, Mr. VP. What can I do for you? Putting on my work voice.
Right.
He was like, so, this Blackout Tuesday thing, we're probably going to be late on that, but what are we doing? I'm like, well, this kind of be a political statement. I don't want it to be because it shouldn't be. Shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But it is. And then he's like, okay, well, I talked to CEO and our pres, and they're like, let's fucking do it. They actually said, fuck it.
Awesome.
I'm kidding. They didn't say fuck it.
Okay.
VP was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do something. What can we do? And I was like, all right, this shit is actually happening. So meanwhile, while I was waiting for an answer, I've been, participating in Blackout Tuesday, trying to educate myself more about the history, how I can get involved, how I can support. And when he gave me the okay, I was just on my computer. In 5 minutes, I blasted something out. All right. So mind you, from a corporate standpoint, the most I could have done at that point in time was to just raise awareness to our customers, to our followers, to people who look at our brand.
Yeah.
And I am so glad to say that we are one of the first few companies in our entire industry that has raised awareness of this. I know. But I mean, okay. So, and then, I was talking to my manager about that, and he's like, well, I kind of understand because, these are competitors. They have shareholders. They're like public, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I get that. But this isn't just about the money anymore.
No.
It's about human fucking beings. And he totally agreed. And I actually said fucking to my manager. It just baffled me because I knew he was right that the industry that we're in, our company's in, does still think in that way where it's, they still need to withhold some sort of white standard. So I say white standard very loosely, but I use it in a way where it's still traditional thinking, where it's, the white collars. Okay, so the reason why I wanted to play it safe is because no one in the industry has done this yet. So as a marketer, I still wanted to kind of feel out how people would react. All right. So when I got the okay, created a post, provided links for resources to people to either educate, support, donate, whatever, all the words for this movement. And I felt like that wasn't enough. It definitely is not enough as a company, right? So, in a couple of days, I'm going to be meeting with one of the VPs, hopefully picking his brain to see what else can we do, right? But to me, the biggest achievement was the fact that a company that I thought would not bat an eye onto this kind of issue because it's nowhere related to what my company does.
Totally.
But the fact that they said, yes, we want to be a part of this in one way or another, and kind of just low-key bragging that they kind of relied on me to do that, but high-key fucking stressing because they're relying on me to do that. Like, I'm in marketing, people watch that shit, people look at that, they dissect it, all that fucking shit. This is good stress though, because now I know I can help use a business to reach a larger audience, to have a more impactful voice, right? So if you're watching this and you're in the position in a business that can make a change, just fucking do it.
Businesses have so much power and influence. It's crazy.
Right.
And a lot of the businesses that are silent speaks volumes, dude. It's really, really disappointing to see a lot of brands not speak up. Especially if you're a brand that has capitalized on Black culture, which is, by the way, almost everything, then fuck you, dude. Part
of the reason why some brands are not speaking up is because they find that it's not in their place to do so. That's one assumption. The other part of that is, like what my manager said, they have stakeholders, external stakeholders that do possess, a majority of the say, and that unfortunately sometimes may have conservative thinking. That's just kind of my long-winded way of saying maybe brands do want to participate in this. And unfortunately, the way a business could or is working is, the top guy. So take me for example. Like, I wanted to do this for the company, right? And bless this guy's soul who spoke on my behalf, who has a better working relationship with my VPs and our senior management team to say, hey, let's fucking do this shit. And I'm thankful the fact that our senior management team, our CEO, who happens to be, the owner of the company, who happens to be on the board, once he says something, oh, it fucking becomes law in the company. So that's why I was just so glad, that is the case for our company. And I think some of the reasons why certain brands are like that are not speaking up, is because they may not have the same flexibility as other companies do, right? So yes, it is unfortunate that some companies are not speaking up about this issue, and it's great that a lot of businesses are speaking up about this issue. Disclaimer: that is the reality of any business. Unfortunately, manipulation can be seen as good and can be seen as bad. I just want to get that out there. What I just said, it is true. And if you think about it, if you look through the books, in textbook, in history, business has been all about the people. Business is about people. Create a service or a good to sell to someone because they have a need that they can't fulfill themselves. That's why they look to a brand, to a business, to fulfill that need for them. Like, for example, I want to have $10,000 worth of crap in my backpack. That's why I bought an iPhone, an iPad, an iPhone, an iPhone, an iPad, a MacBook. I'm actually listing out all the Apple products that I have. Hashtag.
A microphone, a DJI, what? Like.
Hashtag not sponsored by Apple. Bringing it back to my company and bringing it back to the, the brands that are speaking up. Not to say they don't care about the people. I just think the people is different on their list.
Why would you want to work for a company like that, though? If that's the case, right? Like,
oh yeah.
Why would you want to stay in a community that doesn't allow free voice or like your opinions to be heard or diversity?
Mm-hmm.
And like, you're not wrong. Like, that's the reality of a lot of businesses, especially traditional ones.
Oh, absolutely. So, disclaimer: we're not telling you to quit your job because you don't align with the values of the company that you work for.
But also do that. If that's your thing.
If that's your thing. We all need motherfucking money, man.
Yeah.
We all need motherfucking money. COVID has gotten the world fucked up. In case you haven't realized what COVID is, it's gotten all of us fucked up. Unemployment rates are through the fucking roof. People do not want to go anywhere. People don't even want to work.
Earlier we were just talking about how Derwin was saying, it was just only recently, like you were super intertwined.
Yeah.
Like racism and the issues with racism and how, of course, like we're all connected, but specifically like why now and how come you kind of turned your eye to all these issues before?
I think why I started now is because I have been gradually exposing myself to, what the hell's going on in the world, right? I think I hate to admit that I was a little bit closed-minded before because I wanted to just focus on, me. I felt like I was a bit selfish, like back in the day, not even back in the day, this was like a few years ago. I was still in post-secondary, getting through, relationships, trying to find my place in the world. And, selfish as this is going to sound, I just wanted to focus on me. Because I feel like how can I, contribute to a good cause if I can't even support myself?
Totally.
Yeah,
that's
right. Like, mental health aside, how can I be beneficial for a movement like this when it is an ongoing thing, when it is, so big that it affects me now, knowing that it can affect me and everyone else around me. And I think also part of it comes to, exposing myself to people who are in those situations, right? Like, my social circle grew as time went by. So I've been meeting people from different, backgrounds, whether that's, race, religion, sexuality, even fucking lifestyle, right? Like here I am sitting with an influencer. That's where, me starting to open up more to different perspectives kind of started. I'm not saying it started with an influencer. I'm just saying because I'm meeting these different people.
Yeah.
Right? And, again, selfish thing for me to say that I want to focus on me, but there would be no me if there were these people, just suffering out there who are fighting for, my safety, for my rights. Totally get that.
Yeah.
And I'm here to admit that. Like, I want to admit that. saying, hey, I fucked up, right? But the reason and why now, again, is, you know, the education that I'm kind of receiving or doing on my own. People like you who are a part of that community as well. I think that's the biggest thing, that this is the biggest push for me to really get more active, more involved, more, you know, aware of what's going on, because, you know, as well as in my community, that's culturally, that's from the family, all that stuff. And your boyfriend, African American, like, that is so direct that I can't ignore that.
Yeah.
You know, like, what kind of person would I be if I said, oh, that's your boyfriend and that's your boyfriend's issues, I don't really give a shit.
Totally. Because it's like we're family.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, whoever you're dating, it's pretty much in my family or my circle as well. So I think
totally.
that's the biggest push for me to finally say, hey, I really need to understand what's going on because this isn't right. And I think, you know, the biggest thing that kind of impacted my decision is people are fucking dying.
There was so much history that came out of those cops and how they've had so much complaints about handling people not the way protocol is handled, and yet they still got away, right? And like, imagine if that incident wasn't on camera, it would have just been another thing they would have got away with, because when you think about it, it was broad fucking daylight in the middle of the street, and you know that there are multiple people with cameras around you taking videos, and yet there was no shame. Like, and that's a really big part of it, is because they know that they've gotten away with that before. So it's like, well, why is this different?
If you are posting, encouraging, whatever, conspiracy videos regarding the BLM, it doesn't matter. All right? You're going to be right, you're going to be wrong. I don't care for shit. The end of the day, someone is dying. Doesn't matter what the conspiracy is. You know, 8 seconds after, you know, people claim. Doesn't matter if, you know, people were so innocent. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the root fact is someone died on camera repeatedly.
It happens every day.
To African Americans.
And you can't deny that. Like, you can't.
That's it. That is fact.
That's fucked.
You can raise all the issues you want. I don't care if they're right. But what's not right is someone dying. If you're silent, it's okay. All right? The reason why it's okay is because, put yourself in my shoes. How I explained that, you know, I didn't think or focus about this issue until it hit me. Or it hit someone that was close to me. If you're staying silent because you don't know how to act, you don't know how to think, you don't know where to start, that's okay. To me, acknowledging that you need to do something is not staying silent. Right?
Yeah.
It all starts with yourself,
That's
right?
true.
None of your friends can force you to it, regardless if they're being bitches about it. If they are being bitches about it, you DM us their fucking username and we will give them a lot to think about. Staying silent can be okay unless you realize that there is something that you can do. If you don't know what that is, the fact that you realize it
is the first step.
Is your first step, exactly. Right? When it is not okay is if you purposely choose to A, stay silent because you don't think any of this matters to you, or B, you want to capitalize on this somehow.
It takes a lot of privilege to be quiet if you are somewhat educated about this topic, and your silence to speak volumes if you aren't ignorant to the fact that these things are happening and you haven't used your voice to say something, because at the end of the day, us coming together in numbers can put pressure on the government to create laws that will change systematic racism. We were talking about before, they have the authority and they have the power to really make great strides and change, but us coming together puts pressure on that change. So it's pretty amazing seeing everyone come together, seeing everyone be really angry, and this passionate energy has been sick. Like, I've loved it. I've loved seeing people get educated, wanting to learn something new. And I really hope we make strides, because I know it's been kind of like this feeling of anxiety and negativity in the past couple of days, but honestly, I do feel a lot of positivity as well, like, and gratitude.
So if you like this video, like, share it, subscribe. This was not the first video we wanted to create.
Yeah.
Believe you me, we have some fucked up shit.
Ideas.
We have some fucked up shit planned on YouTube.
Yeah.
And we didn't want this to be the first video, but we feel like it was the right thing to speak our minds. Fact checks below. Leave some pretty nasty comments because I know we're gonna get it. Subscribe, like, share, be a decent human being. Actually, you know, hopefully after watching us, you kind of understand what the hell's going on. And don't be a dick.
Thanks for watching.